What is your plan B if nobody marries you?
Hi beautiful people, you welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Realistic Juice. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos you will be the first person to be notified. Alright lovelies, let's dive into this video.
What is your plan B if nobody marries you? Like, what is your plan B? Not to be funny, but what is your next step if you never get married? You see, a lot of people, their life revolves around marriage. Who's going to marry me? Finding the right one, right? Being married, having kids, and all these beautiful things. But what if it never happens? What is your plan B for your happiness? Because if marriage is your happiness, and that's the ultimate goal, right? Having kids is the ultimate goal. Having a house and a big family with that picket fence and that dog is your ultimate goal. What is your plan B if that never happens? If that never happens, if you never get married. Now I want you to ask yourself that question. What is my plan B if nobody marries me? If I never get married, right? Does that determine my happiness, my value, my substance, who I am? Like, think about that. What is your plan B if you never get married? If you never find happiness in someone else? If someone never compliments your vibe, your energy, who you are, or where you want to go? Right? What is your plan B if all of that fails?
He was trying to go with this. But I just want to ask, when did why is marriage plan A in the first place? At one point in my life, I looked at marriage as an accomplishment, and now I look at it as something people just do and not everybody is good at. My life story won't be any less compelling, won't be any less significant, right? Won't be any less impactful or beautiful or meaningful, whatever, because I'm not married. It just means that I'm not married. I wish that we as a society could completely get away from the idealism around marriage. Marriage is not fantasy. Marriage is not a wedding. Marriage is not the reception. Marriage is work. And I think that some people genuinely believe that they're ready to do the work. And in actuality, they're not. They don't even come with the tools. They're not equipped. I think a lot of people gauge the success of their life based on whether or not they got married, they had the dog, the house, the kids. And I really wish we could get away from that.
Married and having kids is every woman's plan A.
You see, a lot of people, their life revolves around marriage. Marriage is your happiness, and that's the ultimate goal, right? Having kids is the ultimate goal. Having a house and a big family with that picket fence and that dog is your ultimate goal. What is your plan B if that never happens?
Not every woman sees it as her dream to be a man's wife and the mother of his children. That doesn't make her spoiled. That doesn't make her selfish any more than it makes a man who isn't a husband or a father yet. Not every woman judges the quality of her life according to her relationship status. There are plenty of women who are married with children and miserable. It is the married people that are keeping the women single. They see what it's like after years of watching this man weaponize his incompetence, the toll it's taking on you, and they don't want that life for themselves. So they're not going to be guilt tripped. They're not going to feel like, is something wrong with me that no man has chosen me? No, these women have chosen themselves. Being a man's wife and somebody's mother is not every woman's plan A. Being happy should be her plan A. Videos like this are never directed towards men. They never make a man feel like his life has been wasted if he's not a husband or a father, but they lay it on thick for the women. What are you doing? You're 35, no kids. 35, never married. No one has chosen you. Chosen? No. They chase, we choose.
Okay. Marriage isn't like the tooth fairy. Like, if you want to get married, you will get married. There are 7 billion people in this world. So the odds of you dying alone would make you the exception and not the rule. And I kind of understand that this creator might be saying you need happiness beyond your primary relationship. But at the same time, what this does is create fodder for women in their 20s to be like, oh my God, what if I die alone? When it's like, babe girl, you're not going to die alone any more than like you're going to spend the rest of your life never encountering a cheeseburger. You know what I mean? Like, cheeseburgers are everywhere. You just have to pick the one that you like, right? Like, we don't need to pretend that it's like, what do I do if I don't get into marriage college? Like, what's your thinking school?
I actually really appreciate this question that he's asking. And I also
if nobody marries you?
I actually really appreciate this question that he's asking. And I also can appreciate it knowing that it's not meant for me. It's not to me. It's not for me. It's not a question that he expects me to answer, because I am not a person who marriage was plan A. But there are women out there who marriage is plan A for them. And so it is really important to think about, let's not call it plan B. Plan B is to stop pregnancy, which we like. But like, what happens afterwards? And I feel like this is one of the questions that I had to ask myself years ago when I started to like decenter men from like my life and my goals. Like, okay, if it doesn't happen, what? Do I just not get a life? And it makes me think about how many things like we reserve for marriage or for like this committed life partnership, right? Like I think about how many women get discouraged of buying property on their own because like, oh, what if you get married? Or what the fuck? I'm just not considering a hypothetical man in my life. I'm here and I'm very real.
Okay, great question. I am so glad you asked. So I've thought about this. I would go to the baby bank online and I would find like a donor, I guess, and I'd ship the specimen to my house. I'd go to Rite Aid, get a syringe, and just make myself a baby, right? And then when that baby's like this cute toddler, we're gonna like travel the world and we're gonna go to Disneyland all the time, and I'm gonna start up all these like mama-owned businesses and just like be a boss babe or something. And then I'm going to build this house, but of course I'm gonna need help, so I'm gonna like have this like addition for my mom that's like so she could be with us and have this great happy family. And I guess I'll just hope for the best, but I mean that's worst case scenario.
People that really know me wholeheartedly knows that I love the idea of having a family and getting married. Let's keep it a buck. Marriage and children should add to your happiness that you already have. I tell myself, if I don't have a child, if I don't get married, hey, it just wasn't in the cards for me. And if I do end up having children, and if I do end up getting married, then cool, that means that it was meant for me. And that adds to my happiness. Let me ask you a question. What does your life look like? Are you happy? Do you have discipline? Are you financially stable? Do you have a foundation to stand on individually? Another question. You better learn who you with before you love that person. A lot of times we fall in love with people that we don't even know. So don't let your parents, society, romantic novels and movies, fear of getting older make you think that you need to have children and get married to ultimately be happy. Work on yourself, learn the person that you are going to potentially fall in love with. And if you have children, you won't have to build love around a baby. You'll build the baby around love. Take care.
No plan B, it's plan A. There's nothing wrong with being unmarried, happy, and independent.
Story time. I was always the one that was like, marriage, I'm gonna have that. Kids, I'm gonna have that. I'm a great person. I'm a great woman. I love kids. I'm gonna be a great mother. And so I started to date. Back in November, I really was putting myself out there. And I was so excited because I was like, this is, I'm going to date exclusive. We're going to date, get in a relationship. He's going to propose. We're going to get married. We're going to have kids. I was doing that, idolizing the idea of marriage and kids, not realizing that I was idolizing the idea of marriage and kids. So one night I was just crying and praying, lamenting to God, like, God, when is my time coming? Like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. What more do you want me to do? And I heard him say, soon. Shortly after that, this guy comes around, and he's, for the most part, everything that I prayed for in a man. So I was thinking like, God, this is from you. And I remembered he said soon. So I'm like, this is soon. He is the soon. So I started idolizing the promise that God gave me, and I pretty much, was dating him or whatever. And then things were happening, and I'm like, I'm getting confused now. I don't think it's from God. But I was idolizing the promise that God gave me. I was idolizing the idea of being a wife and a mother, that I was just like, this is from God. This is from God. The enemy's trying to attack us. This is from God. Not knowing that this was a counterfeit. Not knowing that the enemy brings you exactly what you pray for, except it's a wolf in sheep's clothing to distract us from what God has for us. Once I realized the tactics that he was doing, I started to take back my idolization, and I started to give it all back to God. Like, okay, if it's for me, it will be for me. If it's not, then it's just not going to be, and I'm okay with that. So my plan B, if I don't get married If I don't have kids, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing that I'm doing now because I'm trusting God that there's a reason why I'm not married. There's a reason why I'm not a mother. I'm okay with that. I'm content with that. I'm not going to argue with that because there is a good reason why I wouldn't be married or having kids. I'm not going to question it. So my plan B is going to be plan A. Trust God. Do it all. No matter what.
You know? All these women that you keep asking, what's your plan B if nobody marries you? Why does somebody have to be married? Why is that supposed to be the end goal? You don't have to be married to be happy. You don't have to have a spouse to be happy. Women don't need a man to be happy, just like men don't need women to be happy. Boys do, but men don't. Being self-sufficient and being alone doesn't mean that they're lonely or like a pariah. They just don't want to deal with the fucking bullshit that comes along with relationships. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Like, seriously, lovelies, the more people actually, realize that the world is changing, everything about this world is changing, women is changing, guys are changing, the better for everyone. Like, far are gone those days whereby the society will actually talk to you anyhow, come for you, cancel you, or because they feel that you have failed in life or you are a failed person because you are not able to raise a family or because you're not able to be a child or bear children or to have a pretty societal family, and future and all of that. This world is changing rapidly and a lot of people are not actually considering marriage, relationship, childbearing as a purpose in life or as something that we all are in this life to do. A lot of people have actually changed their mentality. A lot of people have had so many different life purposes that is even more than bearing a children, that is not including marriage in these purposes in life. Marriage and building family shouldn't be someone's entire purpose or the reason why someone is actually in this life or living. There are so many things you can actually add to that. And for most people that actually wanted this life of having a beautiful family, getting married and all of that, and this didn't come to a fulfillment, that doesn't mean that your life has actually ended or because you have not fulfilled that. That shouldn't be a sole purpose in someone's life. If everything works out for you and you want a family and you are working towards achieving that and you are able to achieve that, it is a win for you. And if it's actually otherwise and you are not able to maybe get married and all of that, you shouldn't also break down or because you feel what you wanted to achieve in life have not really you've not really met up to it. This shouldn't be someone's purpose in life, and this is actually not people's purpose right now because people are already doing other things. People have other dreams. A lot of women are choosing not to just be children and stay home and become a stay-at-home mom, and a lot of women are choosing not even to end up getting married. While will you look at it as if be married is everyone's purpose in life, or you just came to this life to actually get married and reproduce. There are so many other things you can do out of life apart from that, which I believe that other people are indulging to that. You can make as much as you want. You can go out for vacations. You can get good jobs. You can improve in your productive life. You can actually even improve in your professional life. You can enjoy life to the fullest. You can adopt. You can make pets as yours. Like, there are so many people are living their lives outside marriage. Like, these days, it's as if marriage is even becoming boring these days. The only thing you have to do, raise children, stay home, take care of children, and that is it. And this life is as boring as, oh my God, it takes someone that actually wants this in her life to do that. It doesn't take people that there are some people that can't take being home, especially stay at home mom, taking care of children, getting married, waiting for your husband to come back home, raising families. It's actually it has to do with determination. If this is what you want in your life, you should go for it. But there are so much more who find that kind of lifestyle very boring. So you're coming out to talk about what other purpose in life do you have. I actually understand where you're coming from. If it's not raising children, yeah, you should be asking this question to those people that felt that their sole purpose by in existing in this life or coming to this life is just because they just want to come here, raise kids, have families and all of that. There are people, many of them, who do not want this kind of life. That is why we have a lot of child free by choice, but single women by choice, building their relationship, growing their own professional careers, traveling, meeting people, and that is their own purpose in life. That is their own plan B in life. Like, a lot and much more. Do you know about the 4B movement? A lot of these women don't even want to give birth anymore. A lot of them don't even want to get married anymore. That is why this 4B movement is a thing, and people, it's actually started in Korea, and people are trying to indulge in it. And if this thing goes as far as it is, you think that marriage will not be a sole purpose in someone's life. There is more to life than just being married and all of that. There is so much more in life. Anyways, lovelies, wanna just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment whatsoever, which is here for educational purposes. So lovelies, wanna share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.